Have you ever felt a place watching you? There are houses that stand empty, windows vacant, stories untold. Creaking door sound effect. These aren't just abandoned structures. They're vessels of whispers, repositories of secrets. One such house is Blackwood Manor, wind howling sound effect. Tonight, we delve into its chilling embrace, a place where the line between the living and the dead blurs, and a young writer named Sarah becomes entangled in a terrifying legacy. Ominous music fades in. So, grab your flashlight, pull the covers a little tighter, and prepare to be unsettled. This is the story of Blackwood Manor.
The Blackwood Manor loomed on the horizon, a jagged silhouette against the bruised twilight. Sarah, clutching the steering wheel, felt a shiver crawl up her spine that had nothing to do with the approaching storm. The locals called it a tombstone of a house, a place where laughter died and silence reigned. Sarah, an aspiring writer with a nose for the unsettling, had rented it for a month, a chance to experience firsthand the whispers of the unknown, to fuel her upcoming horror novel. The key, heavy and cold, felt oddly sinister in her hand as she unlocked the warped oak door. A stale, dusty air hung thick, 1,000 forgotten breaths trapped inside. Cobwebs, like tattered lace curtains, draped doorways. Sarah's phone, devoid of signal, became a useless brick in her pocket. The only light came from the flickering beam of her flashlight, dancing across chipped wallpaper and dusty portraits with eyes that seemed to follow her every move. A creak, sharp as a scream, echoed from the upper floor. Sarah's heart hammered against her ribs. Fear, a primal instinct, gnawed at her. But curiosity, her writer's curse, wouldn't let her flee. Upstairs, the air grew colder, the shadows deeper. A child's rocking horse sat abandoned in the hallway, its chipped paint and empty, button eyes seeming to accuse her of intrusion. A nursery, untouched for decades, held a crib with a faded patchwork quilt, as if a child had just vanished. A chill, bone-deep and unnatural, wrapped around Sarah. A whisper, barely audible, swirled in the silence.
Don't leave me.
Days bled into nights. Sarah, fueled by adrenaline and determination, explored the dilapidated house. She found a hidden room, its walls lined with dusty diaries. The faded ink spoke of a family, the Blackwoods, their lives slowly unraveling. A young daughter, Amelia, plagued by nightmares. A mother desperate to help. A father consumed by a darkness Sarah couldn't decipher. The final entry ended abruptly. A single, scrawled sentence.
They took her.
The whispers became bolder, a chorus in the dead of night. Sometimes they sounded like a child's laughter, tinged with sadness. Other times, a raspy voice filled with despair. Objects moved on their own. A book tumbled off a shelf. A rocking chair creaked back and forth in the empty nursery. Sleep became a distant memory, replaced by a constant, gnawing unease. One night, a cold hand clamped onto Sarah's shoulder. She spun around, the flashlight beam revealing nothing. Panic, a suffocating wave, crashed over her. Desperate for any connection, she reached for her phone, praying for a miracle. To her astonishment, a single bar of signal flickered. She dialed the number for the local historian, the only person who seemed to know anything about the Blackwood family. The line crackled with static before a voice, rough and weathered, answered.
"Don't stay there, girl,"
he rasped.
"Amelia, she's not gone. They trapped her, a sacrifice for something darker. You have to leave. Leave before..."
The line went dead. Trapped. The word echoed in Sarah's mind. This wasn't just a haunted house. It was a prison, and she was the unwilling jailer. Terror fueled a desperate resolve. She had to find Amelia, free her, and escape. Returning to the nursery, she noticed a loose floorboard. Prying it open, she discovered a hidden passage, a narrow, dank tunnel leading deeper into the house's bowels. Armed with a crowbar and her flashlight, she descended into the darkness. The air grew thick and fetid, the whispers a constant hum. The tunnel opened into a cavernous room, illuminated by flickering torches. In the center stood a circle of ancient runes etched onto the stone floor. And there, kneeling within the circle, her back to Sarah, was a young girl with long, dark hair, Amelia. As Sarah approached, Amelia's head turned slowly. Her eyes, once filled with innocence, now held a chilling emptiness. A raspy voice, not Amelia's own, emanated from her.
You shouldn't have come.
A wave of icy dread washed over Sarah. Amelia was a conduit, a vessel for the entity trapped within the house. The entity, sensing a vulnerability, surged forth, its power crackling in the air. Sarah stumbled back, fear threatening to consume her. But then, a memory surfaced, the faded patchwork quilt in the nursery. In one of the diaries, Amelia had written about a special stitch, a symbol of protection passed down through generations. Grasping at this flimsy hope, Sarah tore a strip from the quilt and held it aloft, whispering a desperate plea. The air crackled with raw power as the entity and the quilt's protection symbol clashed. The room pulsed with an otherworldly light, the stench of sulfur filling the air. Sarah, shielding her eyes, felt a surge of energy course through her, imbuing her with a strange sense of defiance. The whispers, once menacing, turned into terrified shrieks. The entity recoiled, its form flickering and distorting. Amelia, body racked with tremors, looked at Sarah with a flicker of recognition in her vacant eyes. The entity, trapped within its weakened vessel and threatened by the unexpected resistance, let out a final, ear-splitting shriek before dissolving into a wisp of dark smoke that vanished into the stone floor. Silence descended, heavy and oppressive. Exhausted but exhilarated, Sarah rushed to Amelia's side. The girl, trembling uncontrollably, whispered,
Thank you for freeing me.
Together, they climbed out of the hidden passage and back into the house. Dawn was breaking, painting the sky with streaks of orange and pink. The house, no longer menacing, looked almost peaceful bathed in the morning light. Sarah helped Amelia out of the house and into the fresh air. The local historian, alerted by Sarah's frantic voicemail earlier, soon arrived. He took Amelia into his care, promising to find her a safe haven with distant relatives. Days later, Sarah sat in a cozy cafe, a steaming cup of tea warming her hands. The experience had left its mark on her, a haunted look in her eyes, a tremor in her hands. But she also felt a strange sense of accomplishment, a survivor's thrill. As she sipped her tea, a local newspaper headline caught her eye. Historian makes shocking discovery at Blackwood Manor. Her pulse quickened. The article revealed a hidden chamber beneath the house, one that hadn't been discovered before. Inside they found a skeletal hand, clutching a small, intricately carved wooden doll. A shiver ran down Sarah's spine. Doll. It looked exactly like the one Amelia had clutched in the nursery, the one that had been missing all this time. The article ended with a chilling line.
The identity of the skeletal remains is yet to be determined.
Sarah stared out the window, the image of the Blackwood Manor etched in her mind. The whispers may have been silenced, but the truth, she knew, remained buried deep within the house's dark heart. And perhaps some secrets are best left undisturbed. The story wasn't just about the entity or the haunting, but about the cost of freedom and the lingering shadows of the past.
Blackwood Manor may stand silent now, but the secrets it held whisper in the shadows. What do you think lurks beneath the surface of abandoned places? Did Sarah truly escape the clutches of the entity, or is there more to the story? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this spine-tingling tale, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more chilling stories delivered straight to your inbox. Until next time, stay safe, stay curious, and remember, some houses are better left undisturbed.